Hello and welcome to the Teri
and Edith show.
Good, splendid. Teri, what's going on? Except for you not being able to listen to the same thing over and over again.
Over and over. I'm so crazy busy that I really don't even know what I'm doing right now. I have my own book launching in April. I have a short story that I have a collection in that is launching in May. I just had a short story collection launch in December, but then it had a weird thing happen. So it really launched in the US in January is when we could finally get printed copies. So I've got all of that launchy stuff going on. And then in a month, I leave for a 2-week writer's retreat, so I need to be writing, and I haven't done any of the prep to get me there, so I have to do all of that. And my daughter is pregnant and due in June, and so I'm going to be a grandmother again. And I also have this big residency in Greece that I'm going to in July, so I have been doing a lot of all the prep stuff that goes into making sure you have everything you need to go to a foreign country in July. And so I'm feeling a little overwhelmed.
I can imagine. And will there be a stopover in Vienna?
No, unfortunately. But if you want to try to come to Greece, or I'm going to be in Barcelona for a day, and then I'm on a cruise. I'm going to take a cruise from Barcelona and it'll go to Rome. So if you want to meet me at any of those places along the way, I'd be more than happy to see you.
It would be fantastic. Hard to say since, our CEO is in the need of constant care. And will you meet Kimberly in Rome?
I won't be able to because I get to Rome at like 6 a.m. and I have an 11 a.m. flight. So there's unless she wants to come to the airport and chat with me, this is not going to work this time. But we will make it work at some point.
Yes, I hope so because it is a lot of fun.
I saw that you met her. Was that a lot of fun?
Oh, it was. We were talking for hours and hours.
Yeah.
And making the most of the table we had in the cafe. And yeah.
It looked. I saw the picture. I think maybe it was on Facebook, and I thought, oh, I want to be there. So yeah,
yeah, it was great. It was great meeting her in person, talking to her, and just having fun and talking about all kinds of things. And see, you will be away in July, you said. So you won't be one of the editors and authors for the Feisty Deeds on Book Lover's Companion, then I suppose.
I haven't heard about it. When is it?
Maybe you have time. Surprise guest, and on the 8th of July.
I will be at my residency, so it's gonna depend on what my internet's like.
Okay.
And until I get there, and I get there on the 5th, 6th, the 6th. So until I get there, I won't really know what I have. Okay. So if it supports it, sure, I'll just jump right in. And if it doesn't support it, then I won't. I may not have been invited because they may be only doing the editors. And I'm not an editor. I'm just an author.
Okay. Yeah, we could make you a surprise guest.
Oh, yeah. Surprise!
Well, you know the link because stays always the same. So if you are there.
Good.
And we do have another date, won't we, for your book?
Yes.
Meg
Unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
right. So that's coming out. I think that will come out maybe in April or May with you and I. I don't remember what date we picked, but yeah.
Yep.
That's coming out.
Yeah, I've started reading the
Oh, good.
Yes,
good.
The preface and the first chapter, and I'm in the middle of the second chapter, and it's really fun.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're liking it. Yeah, I just checked. It's April 7th that will come out, that you and I will. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah, we are supposed.
Unfortunately, you're reading the I don't like the way it looks. You're reading the format that I don't like because they sent me this format and it had all these cutesy graphics and I hated all of them. Hated everything about it. And I said, oh no, you've got to remove all of that. But it's what I had to send you. So I sent it to you. And if you noticed what I labeled it, I think something like first try UGG
It's all good. I mean, don't worry about it because I love reading it. And I said, yeah, it's not your usual style.
No, it is not. It is
Most definitely not.
so not what I've written before. But I tell people I don't like to be put in a box.
Yeah.
And I don't think I have a style. I am still a relatively new author. You know, my first book was published 4 years ago. So, I'm still learning what my style is, and I don't think I don't know, it's like I have one style for my historical fiction. This one is, humorous contemporary, and that
Absolutely.
style is very different, and what it really is the way I talk.
Yeah.
The contemporary humor is if you and I were sitting in a room, you would say, "Oh, that's just Teri. That's just Teri spouting." And so, yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
And I absolutely love it. I mean, the beginning was hilarious. Absolutely, absolutely wonderful, and I hope it continues like that.
Yes, that's so and that's the hardest part about writing humor.
Yeah.
Is it's got to be funny, but it can't be slapstick the whole way.
Exactly.
There has to be an actual story. You can't just laugh. Like, there has to be a story, but you can't get so into the story that you forget to laugh.
Yeah,
You know? And several
absolutely.
times while I was writing it, I completely lost the voice and had to go back and say, "Okay, this is not a straight-laced story. This is funny. Where can we put some humor in? Where did her voice go?" And then I'd have to find that again. But I realized I had to write a chapter, stop, reread that chapter, determine if I'd lost the voice, find the voice, get it put in before I moved on, because one time I got way too far and I had lost the voice so far back that I had to trash everything I'd written and start from that point again. And I didn't want to do that twice.
I mean, also the fact that it is the hardest thing to make people laugh, isn't it?
It is. It is, because what's funny? It's so subjective.
Yeah, true.
And like I said, you don't want to make it so slapsticky that people are like, "Okay, well, that was funny the first 3 times we heard it, but it's not funny anymore." But if you claim it's humorous, you can't have a whole chapter where there's not at least some humor.
Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Even if it's a serious chapter, even if something kind of big is happening, there has to be at least a hint of her personality, which is, kind of a sarcastic, mouthy 50-year-old who's going through menopause, right? Like, we have to see that even when it's a heavy scene, or even when, and that's not easy. That's I kind of really bit off almost more than I could chew with this one, but I had fun. It was a challenge, and I like a challenge. So
that brings me to a thought. I mean, we often say that women of a certain age are allowed to say whatever they like, don't we?
Yeah.
And that's what we love about them. I have never heard people say that about men of a certain age.
I think men of a certain age, they say what they want from the time they're 15.
Yeah, could be.
I think that's what it is men in general, let's kind of like be careful that we don't say all, but in general, men in Western society anyway are given the chance to pretty much do or say what they want, when they want, how they want. And women are taught to be, quieter and more demure, and we're supposed to, be people pleasers, and we get to a certain age and we kind of say, "Well, that's for the birds. I don't want to do that anymore." And so then we kind of stop doing all of that. So really what it is we become more like men. I mean, where we just say what we're thinking.
Yep. Yep.
So,
yeah. In a way, you are absolutely correct. We frown about women or girls who talk like that, and maybe that's the wrong way of looking at it.
We say they're too aggressive. They're too, we use the B word. They're, all of those things. And men, when they do that, they're showing leadership qualities, right? And when women do it, they're, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
But let's be honest here. Men might be able to say whatever they like, but are they that funny?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I don't
that's
think
it.
so. You know? So
Again,
we'll see.
yeah. Well, we are here subjective again, but
That's
let's be
true.
honest.
That's true. That's true. I mean, yeah.
But where are the gold boys? We had the gold girls, but I doubt it would have worked with the gold boys.
No, well, I don't think it would have, because what would be the difference between them at that age and them at any age?
Exactly.
Right? I mean, and instead we had those shows like, Fonzie, where he came out and could do his thing, right? Well, he could do his thing at 20. We had to wait until we were 50.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. We were talking in one of our conversations about flash fiction and so on, and I have to admit I have been cheating this week. I love to cheat, and because I've been thinking about different kinds of text for my students, for them to write
Yeah.
for the test. And I'm so fed up with email number 153 for the test, and it's so annoying. Not another email. I can't read another supposed email. So I thought, why not give them some prompts and let them write Trouble, flash fiction, very short one, 80 words.
Yeah.
And so far they have been very good at what they did. I had three prompts, and what they wrote was really good.
Yeah. I think that there is something really fun about writing to a prompt and being required to keep it to a certain length. And even if the length is larger, but you say no more than, or it has to be exactly this number of words. I love those. I do one, it's 53 words. It has to be exactly 53 words. And there is something really, I don't know, my mind immediately says this is not only creativity, but it's a puzzle. And I have to figure out how to say it in exactly this. What word can I get rid of? What word do I
make
need?
every word count. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I absolutely did with them. And I said, you have every freedom. You can do whatever you like. That's the prompt. And you have to be absolutely precise. 80 words, not a word less, not a word more than that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to keep in mind, English is not their first language.
Right.
And they are in 7th grade, so they are about 13.
Yeah.
And I have to say, not all of them, but most of them so far did a really, really good job.
That is really cool. I think that is there's something really impressive about when I can't imagine. I don't know a second language. I couldn't speak another language if you forced me to. I took 4 years of French between high school and college, and I can't even count anymore. I haven't used it in that long. And I've just never been able to speak another language. And so when I hear of someone else not only speaking another language, but here they are doing flash fiction in another language at the tender age of 13, wow. So, you can go back to school and tell them that an American author who just said wow over what they're doing.
I will. I absolutely will. And I have, well, they have homework, of course, some grammar homework. And I said, if you want to prepare for the test, there are a lot of free prompts this time, and choose one. And then you have to write 95 words.
95 words. Oh, yeah. And there's just something really, like I said, there's something really cool about that because it makes them choose wisely.
Yeah.
They've got to tell the story. There has to be a story.
Yeah.
It can't just be words, right? It's got to be something.
Exactly.
And then you get to I usually, when I write flash fiction with a short number of words, I just write what I want. Then I look at it and say, okay, well, that's 108 words and I'm only allowed 53. What am I going to do? So I start by just writing. I get my story out, and then it's like, now it's time to chop. And I start pulling things out, and then it's like, ooh, I chopped too much. I need to put that piece back. Well, to do that, I need to take this piece out. And it's just, I don't know, there's something really fun about that.
Absolutely. And want to know the prompts I had for them for the 80 words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I would love to know.
And I put for this one, I put them in two groups by myself. So I counted 1, 2, 3, and you group 1, group, and so on. And the first one was: a murderer realizes he has only 10 minutes to dispose of a body.
Ooh.
Yes. Number 2 was: a child decides to walk home by themselves after the parent forgets to pick them up from school again. And group number 3 had to write for the prompt: your protagonist manages to talk the Grim Reaper out of collecting their soul.
Ooh, I would have really liked to be 1 or 3.
Yeah, and like I said, they did a marvelous job. And for the homework or preparation for the test, for the 95 words, which they can choose, looking forward to what they have chosen, to be honest. So one is: a youngest sibling shows up at a family reunion they weren't actually invited to. Number 2, your protagonist plans the escape from a retirement home. And 3, your protagonist suddenly realizes they've been living in a simulation.
Ooh, all of those are really cool. The one about the retirement home makes me laugh, though, because I just saw on Facebook the other day where they have this video of an old woman climbing over a wall. Like she's very elderly, very elderly. I'm going to say in her late 80s, maybe early 90s. She's wearing a dress and sensible shoes. Okay. And she's, and they say she's escaping, that she escaped from one of these, and it made me laugh. Well, they've now done all of these videos of women who are like my age and they're at the gym, and you see them doing all of these machines, and they say, do you know what we're training for? And then they flip it over to that woman climbing over the wall at 90, and it just, it made me laugh. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm most interested to see if at least one of them chooses this, because the fun thing is, next to our school there is a retirement home, and we have a sort of collaboration with the retirement home. Say, wouldn't call it workshop, but students can apply for this sort of workshop, and it's called Young and Old. And on a regular basis, they go over and talk to the people in the retirement home, play games with them, and so on.
Oh, I love that. And I've seen some studies where they say that is good for both. Everyone says, oh, that would be so good for the people in the retirement home, which it really is. But it's also really good for the youth, because the youth learn things. They make connections. They learn about communication with other adults in settings that are not in your family or a school teacher, student relationship. Like, they really learn that whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's fabulous.
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
And we always have students who apply for this workshop, and they actually like it. And they often, and the one colleague who does this, she often says, they completely change their demeanor when they go there and talk to the people.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that's fabulous. I love that you do that. And that'll be funny to see if one of them tries to make one escape. Because, as a 13-year-old, like, what does that look like in your head?
Yeah.
And you'll learn a lot about these kids this way too.
Yeah.
You'll learn what's in their head, which is really cool. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I like about this kind of prompts or ideas for writing, since they have to do a writing for the test, is the freedom. Feel free to write whatever you like, and whichever form you like, just be consistent.
Right. And it allows them to be creative, and then they're having to be creative while pulling in this second language.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, I can't imagine. I'm standing in awe that we've got 13-year-olds who are creative writing in a foreign language. That just, wow.
Yeah, and I have to say, they are really good.
Super. You should consider saving these and creating a book.
Mhm. I have to.
Do you know?
All I have to do is collect them again, and
But I would collect them, turn it into and it'd be so easy to do. You could turn it into a little booklet and give each one of them a book at the end of the year that has all of the little, and they would love that. And then they would be published authors, and who doesn't love that, right?
yeah, true. Good idea.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So the reason I came up with that is I have a granddaughter she just turned 7. And right
Yes.
before her 7th birthday, she wrote a little book called Rosalie Finds Her Way Home. And it was a school assignment. And it was just this, she decided Rosalie was a squirrel, and the squirrel got lost in the woods, and all of the different animals were too busy to help her until one of them finally helped her find her way home. So she told this cute little story, had a beginning, a middle, and an end. It was really very adorable for a 6-year-old, right? And she drew 2 illustrations. And I took those illustrations and I did a little bit where I added a few things so that we could make different pages. And for her birthday, unbeknownst to her, I put it up on Amazon. I ordered a copy and I gave it to her so that she now has a full color book of Rosalie Finds Her Way Home by Emma Marie Blackman. And in the back, I even have an about the author section with her picture and information about her. And she is over the moon over this gift. And she tells everyone now, I'm a published author just like my Gigi. So
Oh, nice. That's nice.
and it's easy to do. I mean, they've made it so easy now. You know, and is this a book that everyone's going to run out and buy? No, I don't mean that, but it's definitely something that has made her feel very happy.
Yeah.
She's very proud of herself. And now she has a book and it has her picture in the back, and she loves that I have it about the author section. She was definitely excited to see that in the back. So
yeah, I might have to not do it on Amazon, do it via Canva and so on, and let it print out. And yeah, but that's a terrific idea actually, because then they have something to look back at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just something really neat about, I don't know, having a book that has your thing in it. I found something of my own. Oh, I don't even remember. I was maybe 11, 12, 13, somewhere in that age, where something I had written got in one of these little anthology-like things, right? And I found it the other day, and it is fun. I remember that when I saw the book, it was like, oh, that's that book that I had my little piece in, and there's just something really exciting. And it hasn't changed. I still feel that way. I still get excited when I find out something that I've done is going to be printed and is going to be out there for the world. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you get feedback, I mean, we often talked about it before that I actually started writing with fan fiction and so on. It's always lovely to get feedback and hear people say, "Oh, I love it. I like it."
Yes.
Whatever. This is
So, that's interesting. I have a lot of friends who do not read any of their reviews. They're authors and they read none of the reviews. I read every single one of them.
Why not?
Because I love them. And true, sometimes they say things and I think, but it's their opinion and they're allowed to have it. And so if it's a review I don't like, I allow myself about 30 seconds to feel bad about it, and then I let it go and move on. But I love it when you find someone who says, "Oh, I really liked it," or "I liked this part," or I've been at book clubs before and had a lady say, "Can I read this one sentence? It just really touched me." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, a sentence I wrote touched someone." I don't know, there's something just fabulous about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it resonates with them, and it's something you wrote.
And I wrote it, and it's like, "Oh my gosh,"
Yeah.
Of course, then they ask me questions like, "What were you thinking when you wrote this?" And my mind is going, "I'm having trouble remembering that I wrote that. Like, I wrote that? That's pretty good stuff there."
I'm a genius.
Yeah.
I do hear you, yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know what I was thinking. I was writing, and then it just kind of came out. Like,
yes.
Sometimes I don't feel like I'm writing as much as I'm taking dictation. I kind of feel like my characters are are telling me this story. So there's this creative piece of me
Absolutely.
that's off doing its own thing, and it's saying, "Hey, let's write this down." And then this piece of me that actually uses the computer is typing it, but this creative piece is telling this piece what to write. I sometimes feel like there's two of me.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's hard to explain sometimes.
Yeah.
Because often, even if I don't write it down, there are those dialogues going on in my head and
Yes.
those characters talking to each other. And the question is it really me who is letting them talk? Or do they have a life of their own? I often feel they do have a life of their own and they keep talking in my head. And, you know?
And then I, as the person taking the dictation, write it down. And it's like, wow, that's a really great story. I really do feel like my characters sometimes also refuse to play with me. So I'll be trying to do something because I need the story to go a certain way. And so I have this thing and I'm trying and it's not working. And my characters are silent. And if they say anything to me at all, they say something like, "We wouldn't do that."
Yeah.
You know, and they're just like, no. And then whatever I'm trying, eventually I give up because it is not working. And then one of the characters will say, "This is what should happen." And the next thing you know, I now know what to do. So sometimes I do feel like they have a life of their own. But that worries me a little because then I think it makes me sound like I need medication. And so
No. No. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, because every writer knows what you're talking about.
Well, maybe we all need medication. That could also be the thing. But there is this.
Who knows?
I have actually one time, and it really kind of freaked me out. I was, hearing my voice. I was typing away. Well, while I'm typing away, of course, it's coming up on my screen. So this piece of me that's not talking is reading it, right? I'm typing and reading, and I got to a point where something happened up on this screen, and I began to cry. And then I thought, you are so weird. You just wrote that. Like you knew it or you couldn't have written it. But when I was reading it, the reading part of me was unaware that I was going to see that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
It's like these two pieces don't talk directly to one another.
Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense because it's when you're in the flow. It's a little bit like when you are a runner. You know,
you get into that zone.
Exactly.
I've never been in one of those running because I don't run. Yeah, maybe I don't run.
But maybe we can compare it with that kind of state
just where
of
you're
mind.
In that, you're in that state where everything else around you isn't really real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
yeah. But no, I've never had a runner's high. I don't think no.
No,
I don't know how far one has to run to get that, but I've never made it.
No. I prefer the keyboards and the screen
yes.
And
in
the
fact,
flow.
Yes. I tell people all the time, if you ever find me dead on a jogging trail, know that someone drugged me there after the fact. I was not there. I did not go willingly. This was not So it wasn't Teri was out for a jog and someone got her. That is not what happened.
No, not didn't die of natural causes. There has to be murder.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what is going on with your writing life?
Yeah, my writing life. I keep on having those conversations of some characters in my head constantly. Not always, especially. Not time. I know, and I mean not during the week.
Yeah, well, I know because you've got, unlike me, you still have a day job, and so that makes it harder. It does make it harder. But I would look at any of your time coming up. And start writing some of those dialogues down because you obviously, if your characters are talking to the point where you say they're always talking, then it's probably about time to start writing things down.
And I always have one scene for a very long time in my head and a dialogue for a very long time in my head, and it only goes away if I write it down.
Yeah, that's what happens to me too, and it's like. hello, hello. And it's like, I don't have time right now.
I know my characters are trying to tell me something. I know.
Yeah.
I'm
So, you
absolutely
need to write.
aware. Yes.
You need to write. You need
Yes,
to
I
write.
know.
We've been saying this since September.
I know. And since September, it didn't get any less,
crazy. Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
tests and
I
more
get it.
tests and homework and
I know. And maybe this summer you'll have some time.
Yeah, hopefully.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Because with the garden and trying to remodel this studio/home office, whatever, let's wait and see what I can do, what I will be able to do, because there's a lot of work involved. My throw room, which you can't see, dear listeners, because God's greatest gift was the green screen.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and
Well,
I'm not even a religious person.
I don't have one. And so you get to see but I make sure that all of my mess is over here and over here. It's
mine is behind the screen.
What you can see looks like, oh, she has a nice little office. What you can't see is, oh my gosh, what is she doing in that office? But,
Yeah, you can't see my mess either. It's on both sides of me, which you can't see because of the cameras directing this way.
You make sure that everything right here looks fine.
Exactly.
And then, below the camera, above the camera, to either side.
Left, right, and behind the green screen with a nice wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And we have to remodel it because the teacup needs a room for her tea. And I think I've mentioned it before, she's learning the tea ceremony.
Right, you did tell me.
Yeah, and she needs a bit of room for that, so she doesn't always have to move everything away in the living room and move it back again. So maybe some place where she can leave the things, like I did with the setup up here, because when we were recording it a few years back in the living room, it was annoying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a space for the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to keep bringing it in, bringing it out, bringing it in. Yeah.
Exactly. So now
even my daughter is going through that right now because they're about to have their fourth child, and their house really is not set up for 4 kids. It's so they're finding ways to rearrange what they have to make everything function well. And that's pretty much what you're saying is we now have new things that we want to do, and we need space. Like, where are we in the space that we own? How are we going to do these things? And it's a little puzzle.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have a few ideas what we shall do and what we should get rid of. And, during the year, you don't have time for that.
No.
And maybe in the summer, we can do it. And we have to change, or I would like to change the windows so we can have plants on the outside, because it gets really hot in here. And it's not that good for the equipment either. So, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. And I wanted to ask you also something else aside from, because I got a very lovely email these days. I think it was yesterday. I got an email from someone who was listening to one of my podcasts. And I was looking up his book. And I've come across it a few times before. I mean, it's probably, I don't know how this works from your end, because I was looking at his book. And it says, I'm talking about the Euro prices, of course, because I can only download or buy. I mean, I can buy from American Amazon, but Kindle versions I can only buy from the German Amazon.
Right.
And when I look at the prices here, for example, Kindle is fairly okay because the book has it says here 164 pages. And the Kindle price is €4.61, which is okay for this. For such a volume. And it says the hardcover, which blew me away actually, is €44. Yes, yeah. and even the paperback is €21.48.
Oh wow, that's
and I was wondering who, probably maybe the publishers set it up
a
that
lot of
way.
times publishers set the price. If you have
Yeah,
a publisher, the publisher sets the price.
yeah,
And that's unfortunate because that's too much.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, nobody would buy a book. I can tell you straight ahead that nobody in his right mind, sorry to say that, would buy a book for €44 with 164 pages. It doesn't say anything
No,
about the author, but that's way too much. Even as a paperback, it's way too much.
let me see. Euros. I'm checking here, euros to dollars, just so that I have an understanding. And you say how much? He's
44
asking 44 euros?
€44 for the hardcover.
That's $52.
Mhm.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's too much. I agree. That's too much. $52. I would never for a $52 hardback, it's going to have to be a beautiful coffee table book full of full color pictures and about an event or a place that I am so in love with that I just have to have all of these like but for a reading material book at that number of pages, no, I think that's too high.
Yeah, also the paperback, it's €21, which is
Yeah,
about $25,
that's
and
still too much.
that's still too much.
Especially for 167. So my paperbacks are over 300 pages and I charge $18.99 on Amazon.
Because I often wonder when I compare it, let's say, to another paperback here. Yeah, for example, okay, the hardcover is also way over the top, but not surprising on the German book market. So, for example, when I look at a crime fiction book, which the other it's one in a series, book 3 of 4, and it's called The Dog Sitter Detective Plays Dead, and it's about 276 pages, and the Kindle is about €77, which is okay, and the paperback is $9.24, which is reasonable, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, the hardcover is still 27 euro, but most people buy either the Kindle version or the paperback.
Yes. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
would say that's a okay. That's reasonable. But 44 and 21 is
That's
way over the
way
top.
too much.
And
Yeah.
I wonder,
Especially for the number of pages, because
yeah,
a 167-page book is about half the size of a normal novel.
yeah, exactly. And I wonder if the publishers don't really know about that, don't really realize about it, because I've come across something like that before. Can't remember where it was, but I told the author that they didn't have an idea, they didn't know that. But I said, let just to let you know, this is a price nobody would pay.
Right, right. Well, so I had a friend who is in charge of one of the local libraries here, in charge of bringing
Mm,
authors in, and she had a man come in who had, I don't know, we'll just say a science fiction book. And he only had hardcover for sale,
mm,
which really is crazy because most people don't purchase a hardcover anymore,
yeah,
especially with an author that they've never heard of.
yeah.
They might, and he was charging $44 for
It, it, it,
for his hardcover, and he sold nothing,
yeah,
and and he was distressed. He didn't understand, like, why wasn't anybody buying my stuff? And she's like, because $44 is so far beyond.
yeah,
Whereas when I go in, if I have a book in my hand and I'm selling it, I sell them
yeah,
for $15. And that's less than the price you can get on Amazon, but I make more
yeah,
money selling them on my own than through Amazon, and so it
yeah,
doesn't matter, but $15. So they're used to people coming in for about $15, and then this guy is almost 3 times that.
yeah.
And they're
I mean,
like, "No, I could get 3 books for that."
yeah,
So,
yeah. Let's see what the book price is on the American Amazon because interesting. That's interesting because
is it less?
yes, and I get the euro prices, which is interesting. When I go to the American Amazon, Amazon.com, and I put in the title of the book, same book, and here it says, I mean, the Kindle is a tiny bit more expensive. You can have it for €5, which we can't because we have to download it, like I said, from the German one. But I could buy it. I could buy it from the American Amazon as a hardcover for €18.61.
But see, then you're going to have to ship it, so it may have to do with the shipping. It may be where they have.
They take care of all the custom stuff usually. Amazon. It's not that much of a hassle for a customer. And the paperback you can have for €14.38.
Yeah,
and I wonder. But I do wonder where it does go wrong because it's not even near the amount. It costs on the German side.
Isn't that weird?
Yes, it is.
And it definitely makes you wonder.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering if the publishers and the authors, of course, are aware of that.
I don't know. Now, I know if I'm doing a self-published book, which I was just working on that anthology for the ladies, that when you put in the price that you want, Amazon sets the prices for all of the other.
Okay.
You say, I want this, and Amazon sets it. Now, I think you can go in and change it. So I wonder if they've decided to change it for different markets.
Yeah.
Because the way Amazon does it, I believe, is they just take yours and they do the changing it to euros and all of the other foreign currencies so that you do not have to sit down and figure out all those foreign currencies. But I think you're then allowed to go in and make your own changes. So maybe for some reason they don't like the German market. I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Because it's interesting because you wouldn't think of looking at the American Amazon as a customer. You wouldn't do that.
Right. Absolutely.
Which is mind-boggling, to be honest, when you compare the prices. And it's funny that I get the euro prices even when I'm deliver because I'm not even signed in on the American side. So which is interesting, but it more or less recognizes that I'm.
It knows where you are somehow.
Yes, yeah, it knows where I am, and it gives me the euro prices.
You do know that, now the internet does know where you are at all times. I mean, I don't know if you've had this where I'll talk about something out loud, and the next thing you know, all of my Facebook ads have that product in it. I just purchased a new dental, like the water pick type thing for I purchased a new one. I did a quick Google search trying to figure out which one I wanted, picked it, and now on my Facebook, every single ad I have is for the dental stuff. And it's not just for flossers, but it's for everything, like toothbrushes, and that's all they'll talk to me about right now. So yeah, the internet always knows about you.
Yeah, and when I take a closer look, it says the shipping price is €13, and when you buy it on the American Amazon, the price it's not the import fees. No import fees, but shipping fees, like you said.
Shipping fees.
It's $13.35, and you will get the book for $27.73. So, but still, it doesn't make sense for the euro price on.
No, it doesn't. So you might want to reach out to that author and just say, hey, you might want to check your prices because something's going on, at least with the German one, that I can check.
Absolutely, because I said that to one author before, and I'm absolutely sure I will have him on the show since he wrote such a lovely email to me, and it sounds interesting. The book sounds interesting, and I will certainly have him on, but it's always fascinating to find out what is going on behind the scenes, what people, especially those who are, first-time authors working with independent publishers and so on are not aware of what's going on.
There's so much that you're not aware of. There's so much that's going on, and you're just kind of smiling through. It's interesting because right now, I'm finishing up book 4 with my independent publisher, and we're getting it all ready. But now I know things, and I'm probably a big pain in their fanny now because they'll send me stuff, and I'll go, no, 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 no. See, whereas before I was like, okay, if this is, and now I'm like, no, that's not what we're doing. We're doing da 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 da, and they're like, she knows things, So
those are the worst people. Those who know things.
I think they're probably get tired of me at this point, but it's like, well, I know what I want.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done it enough. I know what I want now. So,
yeah. And I mean, it's your product. It's your, as I always say, labor of love, and you have to be happy with the end result.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to be happy. If you are happy, your audience is happy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would be the point in doing all that?
Well, I actually have a friend who works with a small press, and this small press is different than mine in that they don't give the author a lot of say-so. So they created a cover, and she doesn't like the cover. And it's a series, so she now has 7 covers, and she doesn't like them. Well, how hard is it to sell a book when you don't like your cover? And so I always tell authors, when you're looking for the right place, the right way to get your book out, you need to look at things like that. Are you satisfied letting someone else pick the cover? Because if you are, that's great. Like, that's not a problem. But if you're not satisfied that way, like me, I would never be satisfied. I don't like it when someone else gets the final say over a product that's mine. I like the final say. Even if I agree with you, I want to be able to say, yes, I agree with you. And then we move on. And so you definitely, that's something to look at when you are at the point now of ready to publish, is, are you and the publisher in the same place in what you want and what they're willing to give?
So I was for mine.
Yeah.
For my cover, to be honest. It's exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is if you get what you want, isn't that fabulous? But what if you don't? So inevitably, all 4 of my covers now, the first time they've sent me their first, I think this is it, I have not liked it at all. And then we've had to go back and forth until we come up with something that it's like, that's more of what I'm looking for. So if I had a publisher that said, here it is, and you have no choice, then I would have 4 books out right now that I didn't like the cover, and that just wouldn't work for me.
Absolutely. And what I find astonishing in this case with the covers is, I spoken to one of the thriller authors, and she said, yeah, there was a time, when every woman on a cover had to wear a red coat. which I didn't really, it didn't register with me. But after she said it, I looked at other covers and I found out, yes, she's right. There was this phase.
So there was a phase, and it's still maybe going on a little bit, where everyone was shown from the back. You didn't have any face.
Yeah.
Everything was from the back. There's been especially in fantasy, the front covers, I don't know what they're doing right now, but as of about 2 years ago, they tended not to have characters on them. They tended to have like swirls and jewel colors and symbols like stars and like that was the thing. Yeah. And so that's the other thing, is covers change over time. Yeah, and so for an author, for instance, who maybe has an older book and they are trying to revamp it, bring it back up to the forefront, sometimes it's as simple as updating the cover to be whatever is in fashion right now for that genre. And And then poof, everybody notices it because it fits in with what they're looking, like, oh, that reminds me of all the other titles of this genre right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, true. But on the other hand, you are one of many. And
Yes.
what
And so
is so
then how do you
special?
stand out? Right. And so I always try to look at it where I make my covers similar enough that someone looking at it can guess the genre.
Mm-hmm.
But then I try to do something that makes me stand out
Yeah.
so that I'm not one of 800 red coats.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah. It's not that easy, but
No,
you can accomplish it, but it's not that easy. Absolutely true. And it often says you can't judge a book by its cover. But let's be
we
honest, the
do.
cover. Yes, we do, because the cover is the first thing that is the reason why we pick it up in the bookshop,
Oh, yeah.
or why we click on it even on Amazon, because you get those recommendations and you browse through that and you think, oh, sounds interesting, or maybe the title sounds interesting, also the cover, maybe not so much. Yeah.
Right. So I did a net galley with one of my books, and as
Mm-hmm.
people read the book, they
Yeah.
could mark down why they chose this book.
Okay.
And then I just kept up with why did they choose this
Mm-hmm.
book? And of course,
Mm-hmm.
one of them is I knew the author, and almost no one put that down for me because this was one of my newer books and nobody knew who I
Okay.
was. So it
Yeah.
was not that. And it went in order: the cover, the title, the back of the book blurb.
Okay.
People
And
do look at covers. I
cover.
mean,
Yeah.
that's just it was the number one reason. It was the
Yeah.
first thing that caught their attention was the cover.
Absolutely.
And we try to say don't judge a book by its cover, but we do. And not only that, we judge it by the back of the book blurb, and we judge it by the first paragraph of the first chapter. And if we don't like it, we say, and then we pull up another book that caught our attention.
If you want a book that's not made to catch your attention, maybe, let's see, if now I've got Amazon, back to Amazon .com, and see if you can find them there, because they are famous. Those books are famous. It's a yes, you can find them. Type in this publisher,
Okay.
because we all had to suffer through them. Did I interview chat? Come on. I sent a message. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay. Type that in your Amazon and let's see what you find.
So what is it that I'm looking for?
It's a publisher, more or less. It should come up with covers.
And where is it that you said? Did you send it to me?
Yes, in the interview chat. Can you see the interview chat?
I don't even see the interview chat. Oh, wait, there it is. I've never even looked at it before. All right.
Okay, type that in.
Okay.
It's called Reklam, dear listeners. Those who speak German or are from Germany and Austria know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yes, that's what we get in school when we have to read the classics.
Oh.
These are very cheap editions of classics.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And they all look the same. They are all yellow.
They're all yellow with little white.
Yes.
Oh,
yes, where
little
you can see
white
the title.
squares with black letters for the title.
Yes.
That
yes.
like it makes me want to run right out and grab a copy.
Yes, exactly. And you know what's coming your way. It's cool when you get those.
Oh, yuck. Yeah. Yeah. No, covers matter. They really do. And so I think that the designer that I was working with for my last cover doesn't know what menopause is. I think that I lost him.
Yeah.
Right. And I was not getting what I wanted at all. And I just kept feeling like, maybe I just think that's what it is. I think that he probably doesn't have a clue and has no idea what like a 50-year-old woman looks like. Because he either had them look like they were about 18 or 97, nearing death. Yeah, it was.
Well.
So it was interesting.
makes you wonder how old he is. Do you know how old he is?
No, I have no idea. I work
No.
completely on the internet with him, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I am just assuming.
Okay.
I am assuming that this is probably very young, probably first job.
Very likely. After what you've shown me before, so I'd say yes, probably. Probably. And maybe his or her mother, is he a his? A he?
Yes,
Is he
it's a
male?
he,
It's
or
a he?
at least the name would suggest so.
Okay. Okay. So maybe if he is very young, then even his mother is not
His
even
mother's
50.
not there yet. Yes. Yeah. I suspect I'm figuring he's 20 and his mom's 42 and he doesn't even know what this is yet. Yeah, that's my
So how should he know? Poor him.
right.
I mean,
Right.
seriously, this is
So then again, as an author, when you are looking for things like book covers and designers, you need to make sure you're finding someone that can see your vision.
yeah. I mean,
You know, that
that's absolutely true. I mean, it's true for the designer of your book cover. It's also true for the people who are going to read your audiobooks. You have to be happy, especially if you get the
yes,
chance to work closely with your publisher on it, or even if you are daring enough and paying
right.
for the audiobook yourself. So,
Yeah, you just have to be happy with all of the aspects of your
yeah,
book if you're going to go out and sell it.
yeah,
You know, I don't want to have to apologize for my book.
yeah.
I don't want to say, this is a great book. Please excuse the interior. You know, that's not what you want to do,
No.
which is what I said to you. Please excuse that interior. It is not what I
Ah,
want. And it won't be that way when it's done. And so it's interesting because you do have to be able to say, I don't or this is exactly, I want this. Or do you see this
yeah,
book? This is what I want. I want
yeah,
something that looks like this book.
yeah.
My biggest thing is I wanted the interior of this book to reflect the interior of my other books.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not. It changed things up completely. It added graphics everywhere, and I don't like it. It is
Mm.
not. It makes me feel like I'm reading a child's book. I don't like it, and it does not. And I know they're different genres, but I
Mm-hmm.
still want my books when you open them to still feel the same. And this
Yeah.
one does not. And so I asked
Okay.
for some changes. So hopefully
Okay.
I was hoping to have the changes by now. So I'm hoping any moment I'll have them so that we can move on with this process.
Yeah, especially if you have your tight schedule and want to keep
Yes.
up with your schedule. So,
Yes.
yeah,
I know.
absolutely. Yeah, understandable.
Working with other people, I've decided I don't play well with others. I really don't. I kind of like I get an email. I always within 24 hours, and usually so much faster than that, have responded to someone. Unless I am deathly sick or on an airplane and have no service. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just,
Mm.
and I don't, so many people are not that way. They check their email first thing in the morning and they don't look at it again until the next day. And, you know, they'll send me an email and I will write a response and then I don't hear anything and I don't hear anything and I don't hear anything. And it's like, I need to know the answer so I can move on.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
absolutely
yeah,
do get you.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't play well with others. I think I'm a really good independent kind of person. I'm kind of a get it done or get out of my way so I can get it done.
Yeah, it's fair enough. I mean, that's the way you work. And
Yeah. Yeah. So it's so working with so like for me, this anthology that I have coming out in May, it's called Carolina Tides. It is 7 stories by 7 local authors who live here at the beach. And they're all
ah,
stories about the beach. And so it's
is
going to
it?
be it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, is
Go
it?
ahead.
Is it? Are those the authors which I saw? I think it was on Facebook.
Yes.
The
Yeah,
picture.
yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. Okay, and so we're all working together and it's wonderful. I love these authors. They're all fabulous. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying we have 7 creative, independent, highly effective authors trying to work together and all decide that we are okay with the same cover, the same blurb on the back, the same interior design, the same photo of all 7 of us, the same, and it's hard. It's hard. And then we have deadlines that we are keeping to, like everybody has to have made a decision and sent everything in by this date so that because otherwise it could just fly apart at the seams. And every one of us at times have had to say, fine, I'll let it be that way. It's not the way I would have done it, but as a group, most of you want it this way. So we're going to let it be that way. And that's a hard thing to do. So doing an anthology and working together as a group is also a very difficult experience. Not difficult in a bad way. I'm enjoying working with these women. We had lunch together yesterday after we had our photo made, and it was fabulous. We had a great time. It's just we all know what we want.
Yeah.
And what we all want it comes close, but it isn't exact. And then you have to say, okay, we can't do it all 6 ways or all 7 ways. We have to make a decision, and then you have to figure all of that out. And so, it's been interesting.
Yeah, not that easy. I mean, it's harder than getting 5 people on the podcast together.
Yeah. So yesterday, we had our photo made yesterday, all 7 of us. We had planned to do it down on the beach, but it was pouring down rain all day yesterday. You can't tell by the photo. We must have had a moment where it the sun kind of came through the clouds. So we were underneath a gazebo, and you cannot tell we're under a gazebo the way we cropped. And it looks like we're standing outside. It looks beautiful. It's perfect.
Yes.
But someone said, why don't we come up with another date for the photo? And the answer back was, can you imagine trying to come up with another date where all 7 of us can meet and hope that the sun will be out?
Nope.
Because we put this February date, so it was February 27th. We put that on the calendar back in October.
Yeah.
So if we did this again, it would be, June before we found another date. So it was like, no, we'll find a way to make it work. And so we just changed where we were meeting so that we could be undercover. Yeah.
Yes, I do. I hear you. Remember episode 200 of the podcast?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I ended up not being able to be on the original one. And I was on a special one because it was like, I can't, I could do these first 2 dates, but not these. And everyone else could do all of those. And it was like, well, then leave me out, because we can't do everything around one person. And so, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
The trying to find dates where we can all meet. And then, like I said, we all have different ideas about what we want to see and how we want to see it. And then comes reality, which is...
You have to agree on the smallest denominator.
Yes.
So...
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so most people want this. Can those of you who didn't live with it?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, we can live with that. Okay, good. So now the next issue is, now 5 of the 7 people would prefer it this way. 2 of you want it this way. Can you live with it? And that's kind of how you have to go through all of the different
compromise
things.
And
Yeah.
Everything
and
else.
I've, like I said, I've enjoyed this, but I also realize I really do work better alone because I like making a decision and then just moving on. And instead it's you make a decision, then you put it through a committee, then the committee comes back with 2 or 3 possibilities, then you make a decision from there, and then it goes back to the committee, and then you get the final answer. And you have to do that when you're working with a group. And I know that.
Yep.
I am, I think, more of a loner than that.
Which is also perfectly all right, I suppose. Not just writing is a very lonely endeavor, but for some, also the rest. I mean, you have to work with your editor, but you also have to be happy with the editing, and you have to agree. You find a way to make it happen or make it good for you. It's not just often people say when they go to the publisher, known publisher, they don't recognize the characters anymore because they change everything.
Or they'll say, oh, I love this story, but you have to change the ending. And you're like, but the ending was the whole reason I wrote the story.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Luckily,
you have to ask yourself, are you willing to do that or not?
yeah,
How
and I'm not.
important is it for you to get published by a known publisher and to
Yep.
change your your story? That's your story. Why would you change it? As you said, that's the whole point.
Yeah. No, I am I look at it, if you have a painter, I cannot imagine walking into someone like Van Gogh and he has this thing and you look and you say, that's really beautiful, but I don't like the blue that you used. I want you to make that green.
Yeah.
And he'd go, "Oh, okay." No,
Oh,
he wouldn't. But as authors, we do that. "Fine, you want green? I'll give you green." And it's like, I'm not willing. I have
yeah.
an editor and she will tell me things and I do make changes because they're usually things like this character needs to be stronger
Mm.
or
Mhm.
or it's something like I
Yeah.
don't understand the motivation behind this
Yeah.
character. You hinted at it,
Yeah.
but I need more so that I really understand
Mhm.
why they're going to go do this dumb thing. Like I need to understand that
Yeah.
because otherwise and I'll listen to that because that's usually a problem on my end where I thought I told you everything you needed to know, but it was still in my head and didn't make it out to the page.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it has to make sense for you, and you
Yes,
have also be convinced that the change will make the book or your
better.
work better.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I feel like my editor is really good. Very rarely does
Mm.
she make a suggestion that I don't think, you know what, you're right. I could do that. Every now and then she'll make one and then we'll go back and forth and I'm like, I'm not seeing it. You're going to have to do a better job of convincing me because I think this
Yeah.
needs to stay. And there have been a few times where I have said no, it's definitely staying and we move on. And I like working with her because she understands that I'm gonna have the last word, but she also knows that I'm gonna listen to at least 95% of what she has to say.
Mm.
I feel like if you're not listening to at least 90% of what your editor is saying to you,
Uh,
either you don't have a good editor or you have a pride problem.
mm.
And so you need to figure out which it is.
Yeah.
Like it can be a pride problem. Well, no, I write the best thing ever and, no editor's going to tell me. But the truth is that as an author, you get really close to your work
Mm.
and you know what you meant. You have these characters living in your head. They're
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
telling stories that you're not
Yeah.
even writing down. You know what they would eat for breakfast. I mean, you know these characters. And so sometimes we don't get all of that information out onto the page. We think we have because they're
Mhm.
living in our head,
True.
but your readers don't live in your head. And so
Yeah.
they read it and they think, "Why would he act that way?"
Yeah, those are the blind spots, aren't they?
Yes, and that's what editors, to me, are exactly what you need because they can come in and say, "Hmm, I don't right here, I don't understand
Mm.
why would she get so upset here? Like,
Mm.
what's going on?" And it's like, "Well, this, and this." And she says, "Yeah, but you didn't tell me that." "Oh, oh," you know?
Oh.
So there have been so many times where I have alluded to things without outright saying it, and sometimes you need to say it.
True, but sometimes you have to give your readers credit.
Right, right, and so it's a balancing act, and I think my problem is sometimes I try to give too much credit.
Mm.
I need to give them a little more basis
Okay. Okay.
so that they can then
Mhm.
make assumptions. I allow them to start making assumptions before I've given them enough to stand on, and I need to
Okay.
give them a little more of that. It'd be like trying to teach a kid algebra, but you haven't taught them how to add and subtract yet.
Mhm. Yeah.
And so you have to make sure they know the adding and subtracting so that you can then move on to more math. And sometimes I forget to give them that basic
Mhm.
underground, that firm stand thing. And then we can go on to make assumptions, which I love. I don't like to tell them everything. I don't want to have to say he is sad, he is happy, he doesn't like the fact that his wife just did that. I want you to guess that based on all the other things. But we have to know a little bit about him and his wife and their reactions to one another before we allow you to make assumptions.
Yes, but you said assumptions. But isn't this also a case of show, don't tell?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that too. But often what happens with me is I think that I very quickly assume that you understand the inner workings of my character.
Okay.
Because she lives in my head. And certainly by now, after this 2.5 pages, you know exactly what she's thinking at all times. And I haven't really helped you see, like in Peg Unhinged, my editor said, there are many times that I don't like her. And I want to like her.
Okay.
And it's because I don't quite understand where she's coming from. Well, by the time what you're reading, I went back and made sure you knew where she was coming from. You're going to know a little bit more about her relationship with her husband. You're going to know a little bit more about her relationship with her family. You're going to know so that when these things happen, you understand her reaction and don't say, why did she do that? Like you're going to go, oh, yeah, I would have done that too. You know.
Don't give too much away. I'm looking forward to it.
No. I won't say anything else. But you know, she doesn't always make wise decisions, but we want while she's doing them, we want you to at least be going, oh, Peg, honey, instead of
yeah, exactly. You want us to root for her.
Yes, even when she's being stupid.
Yeah.
Even when she's making the biggest mistakes of her life, I want my readers to be going, oh, Peg, honey, come on, you got this, you know. And my editor was saying, I don't know, there are a few times where I'm thinking you deserve what you get. And that's not what I want.
Yeah.
Right? And so you do have to kind of go back and make sure that you are letting your reader really understand what's going on in that head, so that when they make these poor decisions, which every character should make, you know, we should see bad decisions or, you know, I mean, think about it. What horror movie have you ever watched where they didn't go into the basement? That's a bad decision. They should not be going, right?
Yeah.
Right? And so there are always those, but by the time they're doing that, you want your reader to be so invested that they'll go into that stupid basement with the character, despite the fact that they know it's a bad idea. It's why I don't read horror, because you can never give me a reason to go into the basement.
Yeah, true.
So.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. I absolutely agree. Yeah, so you're so right. And before we close our conversation for our listeners, since I've mentioned while I was searching on Amazon, the readers, our listeners, readers and listeners, of course, I was mentioning The Dog Sitter. And if you haven't read it yet, do so now. I absolutely love it. It's by Anthony Johnston.
Okay.
And it's a series. Book 1 is called The Dog Sitter Detective. And it says a tail-wagging cozy crime series, simply delightful. By that's the endorsement by Wasim Khan, simply delightful. And it follows penniless Queenie Duffel, and who ends up
name.
Yes, and she is a actor, and hasn't been acting for quite a while because she was taking care of her ailing father, and now that he's died, she needs to take care of her home, and she needs money. And one way of getting some money is dog sitting, because she knows her way around dogs. Yes, and in every book she stumbles across a body.
Of course she does.
Yes, I absolutely adore the books. They are absolutely delightful.
Fantastic.
And I can only tell you, dear readers, read them, because she's not a youngster anymore. She's a woman in her late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, I love that. I love when the protagonist is, you know, more my age. That's great.
Yes, and she also has an annoying neighbor because, you know, she's living in this not modern house in a Victorian home.
Yeah.
And her neighbor has a lot to say about, you know, keeping the outside and the inside also up to date and making sure it doesn't fall apart, which it unfortunately does a little bit, and that's why she needs the money. And yeah, and I would absolutely recommend these series.
Fantastic.
If you get your hands on it, read them. It's really lovely.
Fantastic. Now, I read a really good nonfiction that it's a memoir, and it's called Love Is, and it's by Kim Sorrell, Sorrelle. And she takes from Corinthians, where it says love is kind, love is, she each month tried to live one version of what love is. So she tried to be kind, she tried to be humble, she tried to be all of the different things. And it is a delightful book. I thought of it over and over and over because sometimes, when you're having an interaction with someone and it's not going quite the way you want it to, and part of you wants to scream and throttle them. And then I think of this book and then I think, okay, love is kind, love is patient, love is, and so, but I have really enjoyed that book. It's a memoir and I loved it. So it might be something that people would enjoy as well.
Sounds as if, yeah. So we had Murder and Mayhem. And
yes, and love. Well, I feel like we have a wide range of listeners who might, land on any of these things.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. Yeah, why not? I mean,
I agree.
There's always time for a good murder, in my opinion. So, why not?
Fantastic.
Teri, as always, absolutely lovely.
It was fantastic.
And we'll be back, dear listeners. Don't forget to like and subscribe, of course. And we will back for another episode. Until next time. See you.